Today on Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas, we're going to make some delicious cupcakes and decorate them gourmet style. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas. Today we're going to make these really yummy vanilla cupcakes and decorate them gourmet style. Now Mother's Day is around the corner, so if you wanted to make these for Mother's Day, that would be great, but these can be made any time of the year. Let's talk about the ingredients for our vanilla cupcakes. So very first thing, you're going to need 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of sugar, granulated sugar. You're going to need 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, just 1 stick. You're going to need 2 large eggs. You're going to need 2 large eggs here, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1/2 cup of sour cream. And those are just basically the ingredients for our cupcakes. Now for our icing or frosting, we're going to use 1 cup of butter that's softened, which is 2 sticks. You're going to need 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. And we're going to make these really delicious cupcakes. Now, the gourmet decorating part, we're going to actually be using we're doing some tempered chocolate. So I'm going to be using these Nestle milk chocolate morsels. We're going to be using a bain-marie, which is basically a hot water bath. And you just use a pot and get some type of kind of like a bowl that is able to fit on top of that pot, but you need to make sure it's not touching the water. And we're going to be melting the chocolate in there slowly. Then we're going to be adding it on some wax paper, and I'm going to be showing you some things about how you can decorate it using that melted chocolate. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're back. So you need a large bowl, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some of the dry ingredients in here. So I have my 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, so I'm going to put it in this large bowl here. I have my 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. That's going to be placed in there, and then my 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a whisk, and I'm just going to whisk those dry ingredients together, just like that, and put that aside. And then I'm going to add to my KitchenAid mixer, I'm going to add my butter. This is a 1/2 cup of butter. It needs to be room temperature though, make sure that it's softened. And also I'm going to add my sugar. All right, those are the first things, and we're going to kind of put it, make it sure when we are mixing it that it's going to be fluffy. We want that fluffy at first, and then we're going to add the eggs, so stay tuned. Okay, so now we're going to place the butter in our bowl here, and you need a paddle attachment. And what I like to do, I like to just cut up my butter. It's nice and softened right now, but I still like to kind of cut it up and place it in here. And you want to beat the butter, and then you're going to add, or I should say use the mixer. We're going to just use it on low for now, put it on low for now, and then I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to add the 1 cup of granulated sugar. And you want to beat this until it's light and fluffy. So I'm going to put up the speed a little bit, and we're going to beat this until it's light and fluffy. And while this is beating, I'm going to go and put on my oven at 350 degrees. Okay, so looking at my butter and sugar mixture, it looks light and fluffy. I think it's ready for the eggs. So I'm going to put in the eggs 1 at a time. Add my second egg. start to incorporate those two. Okay, so while that's going, I'm also going to add my 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And then my sour cream. This is a half cup of sour cream. I'm going to scrape the side a little bit with my wooden scraper. I want to make sure all that sour cream is in there. Okay, that looks nicely incorporated. Now what I want to do is I'm going to add my dry ingredients. Okay, so I'm slowly going to combine the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients. So I'm going to do just a little bit at a time. And one thing you don't want to do is over mix these ingredients. You just want to get it in there and mix it and then move on. So it's going to be done slowly. Going to add a little bit more. And add a little bit more, actually the rest of it. Scrape the sides too a little bit too. Make sure you get all those ingredients. One thing I like to do when I'm baking is kind of clean up as I go. Okay, so that looks really good. Okay, so I think that is it. So what we're gonna do now, is we're gonna add them with a ice cream scoop. I love using these ice cream scoops because it gives you the right amount. And we got some cupcake liners. I'm using green. You could use any color you want. And this should make around 15 cupcakes. So we're going to add that next, and I'm going to show you how to do that, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're back. So I have my ice cream scoop here, and I'm going to move this aside here. I'm going to add my batter to these cupcake liners. And these liners you can purchase at any store, really. You can get at Target, Walmart, any grocery store too. And so I'm going to get this ice cream scoop and I'm going to scoop. You want to make sure that it is a little bit more than halfway, which this is. This is just like the perfect scoop for this. And this just goes, see how easy it is? Just one scoop, that's all it takes. And once again, my oven is being preheated to 350 degrees. Okay, so that is it. So we're gonna have approximately 15 cupcakes here. I'm gonna just fix this one up a little bit. And it goes, like I said, it's really easy if you use an ice cream scoop, so I highly suggest you do that. And I'm going to put this in the oven. It's going to bake at 350 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes about. And you always want to test it with a wooden toothpick and just stick it in there. When it comes out clean, then you know it is done. So when we come back, we're going to take a look at that and then make sure that they're nice and cool before we add our frosting to it, so stay tuned. Well, welcome back. So now we're going to work on the gourmet part of our cupcakes. We're going to be decorating the top with. So not only will we have some frosting on top, but we're going to be doing these really cool chocolate decorations on top. Now, what you can do is, if you like to draw or something like that, you can draw any design you want just on regular paper. Use a Sharpie. And I just wrote love, I wrote hugs, best mom. I did like a little flower here. This started out to be a little flower, but it's probably gonna be like half of that. And I'm just doing some designs. It could be anything you want. It could be even a swirl or something like that, maybe like a spiral. And what you're gonna do is get some wax paper. And when you lay this on top, you can see right through it. And then you're gonna get a piping bag. Now, if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a Ziploc bag and just cut the corner, and you can use that. So when you put the chocolate in there, you can just go over that design or those words or whatever it might be, and then you're gonna set it aside and let it harden. So I got some white chocolate that I already did, and I melted it in, once again, a bain-marie, and bain-marie is just a hot water bath. And they have different, you can actually purchase a bain-marie little pot or something like that, but if you just have a bowl that can go right on top of a pot like this without touching the bottom, you're good. So I already did this. This is white chocolate, and I'm going to break this up as far as bark. And I'm gonna stick the bark into the cupcakes too for more decoration. So it's gonna be really, really, really pretty. So let me show you how to do this bain-marie. So basically I have a pot here, just a regular old pot. I'm gonna get some water. I'm going to fill the bottom, probably, about an inch high. You wanna make sure it does not touch the bottom, which I know with this, you can see that it definitely doesn't touch the bottom. And I'm going to put the flame on and put it sort of like at a low heat. And I'm gonna let that just heat up just a little bit. Then I'm gonna put the the bowl on top of that, add the chocolate to it, and then I'm going to start stirring it. It's gonna be melting. And once it's all nice and melted, then you can take it out and you can put it in your piping bag and add it to your decorations, or you can make bark with it to add to your, as far as decorations go on your cupcake. So when we come back, that's what we're gonna be doing, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're gonna start. So my water is nicely heated. I can see, the steam coming up from it. So I'm gonna place this on, I'm gonna lower my heat, and then I'm gonna add my chocolate morsels. Now, depending on how many decorations you're doing, you might need the whole bag, maybe not. This is milk chocolate morsels, Nestle Toll House. For the white chocolate, Ghirardelli, I think is how you pronounce it, and those are the white chocolates premium baking chips that I used for the white bark. All right, so that's that. So this is going to be in there. I'm gonna get my wooden spoon, and I'm gonna get my wooden spoon here, and just gonna keep a nice eye on it. You definitely don't want to burn your chocolate. Some people say, can I do this in a microwave? I wouldn't suggest it because you can burn your chocolate that way, and there's nothing worse than burnt chocolate. But this is going to be just melted, and then like I showed you, I'm gonna add it to our piping bag, and we're going to do some decorations, and it's gonna be really, really cool. So I'm going to continue watching this and stirring it, and when we come back, it should be done. Okay, so really quick, I wanted to show you, hopefully you can see that, see how it is nicely melted. I'm gonna leave it just a little bit longer, and just to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then we're going to add it to our piping bag, all right? All right, so when we come back, that's what we're gonna do. Stay tuned. Okay, so I placed my chocolate in my piping bag, and you just want to squeeze. So I got Best Mom, Hugs, a couple of flowers, and the word love. You could even do just your own design if you don't want to do a template and just do like a heart or something like that. And so what we do is we set that aside, and that's it. Very easy, simple, and it's gonna be awesome, so stay tuned. So as you can see, I took the template away, and you can see all the different designs and words and stuff like that. I even added some extra. I did add some spirals myself, just for extra decoration. You can do anything you want, and this is very versatile. You can do this for any occasion, any holiday, so it's really a cool thing to know. Okay, so welcome back to Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas. So we're going to make our frosting for these delicious cupcakes. And there they are. And so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna get our 1 cup of butter. So it has to be softened butter. So I'm just kind of cutting mine up a little bit, adding my 1 cup, which is 2 sticks of butter, to my bowl here. And I'm going to beat that on medium, and I want to do it until it's nice and smooth and fluffy. Okay, that looks nice and smooth. All right. Now I'm going to add my confectioner's sugar a little bit at a time, because I don't want to go in flying all over the place. And I'm going to beat it on low. I'm going to add my 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So there's 1, there's 2. I'm going to add some more confectioner's sugar. I'll do the rest of it. So I did about half and half. Beat it on low, and then what I want to do is I'm going to get my heavy cream. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. So we add that in now. There's 1, and there's 2. So now I'm going to put it on a medium to high, and I'm going to mix for a few more minutes until it is, the frosting is pretty much until it's smooth. Oh wow, it's looking really good already. Now I'm also going to add 1 drop of red food coloring because I want my icing to be pink. So I'm just going to add like 1 drop. See what that does. Yeah, that looks really good. That's the color I want. So 1 drop of food coloring, red food coloring. It's going to make these really pretty pink cupcakes. And you can use any color you want for whatever occasion it is, or whatever holiday it is. Okay, that looks good. And let me take a wooden spoon here. Take that off. We don't want to waste any. Isn't that a pretty color? Just look at this color. Look at that, it's so pretty. All right, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add it to my piping bag, and my cupcakes are completely cooled. You wanna make sure they're completely cooled. And then we're going to frost our cupcakes. So when we come back, that's what we're gonna do, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're back, and my cupcakes are pretty much cooled down. They feel pretty good. And I'm going to get my piping bag here. I'm gonna add my pink frosting to my piping bag. So I'm going to just go around. Just like that. Look how pretty that looks. All right, so I'm gonna do all my cupcakes the same way with my pink icing. It's so good. And I'm going to just keep decorating them, and then we're gonna add some of those fancy decorations, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're back, and as you can see, I have my cupcakes all frosted. I'm gonna be using probably 12, actually I'm probably gonna be using 9 going around this. Just gonna be putting it around this plate like that, but before I do that, I want to decorate them. And so I have this is my white chocolate bark that I put some sprinkles on after I added it to my wax paper. And basically I'm just gonna break that apart. I like those rough edges. And we're going to add that as some decorations. And I also have my milk chocolate designs here that I'm gonna add. And I have some sprinkles too. So let's start. And let's do this one. All right, so these are just 2 that have regular sprinkles on it, all right? Then I'm going to get my little designs here. When you take them off the wax paper, gotta be really careful. Now, one thing that I did do, I did add these to the refrigerator. So you probably want to put them in the refrigerator for just a little bit. And I'm going to take off the spiral here. It would help if you had a little spatula. So I'm just going to add that right there. Oh, look at that. That looks so pretty. Look at that. That looks awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start decorating these, and when we come back, we're gonna take a look at the final product, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're back and we're decorating our cupcakes, and so I already put frosting on it. Now the ones that I'm doing with the chocolate decorations, I'm adding a little sprinkles to, and then I am getting my words here. This one says love. And a little sprinkle. And just put that one there. And then I'm just gonna add one with some bark. Here, let's do this, break this one apart. And there you go. I mean, look how cute these are. Those are so cute. And let me just do, I think I'm gonna have just a plain one here, and I'm gonna add my bark to that. And I'm gonna make the bark a little smaller, just like that. Put it right there. Wow. And then I got some leftovers to munch on. But look at that, look how sweet that looks. Can you see that? I'm gonna take some pictures so you guys can see up close. And that's it. So these are some really versatile cupcakes. They can be made any time of the year. You can decorate them however you want. And it's gonna be really, really, really cool when people say, wow, these look like their gourmet cupcakes came from a store. So hope you enjoy it, and happy cooking, happy baking, bye-bye.